Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you how to make homemade rye bread. So let's get started. First we're going to make a sponge for the dough. I'm going to make the dough in a stand mixer, so I'm using the mixer bowl to it. If you're not using a stand mixer, then use a large bowl. So add in the flour, rye flour, yeast, sugar, honey, and cool water, not warm water, and mix them until they're well combined. Then wrap it tightly in plastic wrap and leave it at room temperature for 3 to 4 hours or overnight, and it will develop flavor over that time. Then add in more flour, yeast, oil, and if you like seeded rye bread, add in caraway seeds too. And mix them on a low speed until the ingredients are combined. Then add in the salt. And let the mixer knead the dough on a medium speed for 10 to 12 minutes until the dough is smooth and elastic. If you're doing this by hand, then mix the ingredients in a bowl just like how I showed, and knead it on a lightly floured work surface for 10 to 12 minutes. Then place the dough into a lightly greased bowl. Lightly grease the top of the dough. Wrap it tightly in plastic wrap. And let it rise in a warm place for 2 to 3 hours until it doubles in size. Once it's doubled in size, turn it out onto a lightly floured work surface. Press it down to get rid of the air. And shape it into a log or a ball. And you can choose if you want to make 1 large loaf or 2 small loaves. Then place the dough onto the back of a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Reshape the dough and make it narrower than you want it to be because it will spread out when we let it rise again. Lightly flour the top of the dough to keep the plastic wrap from sticking to it. Wrap it loosely in plastic wrap and let it rise in a warm place for 1.5 hours until it's puffed up but not doubled in size. About 45 minutes before it's ready, preheat the oven to 425 degrees. And place a cast iron pan into the oven while it's preheating so it gets nice and hot. And place a stone pan onto the rack above it so it gets hot as well. Once the dough has risen, carefully remove the plastic wrap. Spray it or brush the top of the bread with water. Cut a few slashes on top of the bread using a sharp knife. And place it into the oven. Just use the parchment paper to slide it onto the stone pan in the oven. Then add 1 cup of hot water into the hot cast iron pan. It will create a lot of steam. And close the oven immediately so none of the steam escapes and bake it for 10 minutes. Then turn the oven temperature down to 400 degrees and bake it for another 5 to 10 minutes or until it's nice and golden brown and it reaches an internal temperature of 200 degrees or above. You may need more or less time depending on the thickness of the bread. When it's done, remove it from the oven. Just slide the breads back onto the baking sheet and let it cool for a few minutes. And it's best served still warm or hot. And that's how to make homemade rye bread. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I have so many more on my channel, so be sure to check them out and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.